The mundane world you know is false, fraying at the edges. Follow the echoes of Atlantis, trace the imago to its source, and wake up. You are entering Mind Over Matter, a story about Mage the Awakening. Welcome to Chroniclers of Darkness, a narrative horror podcast set in the RPG series New World of Darkness. Due to adult language and the violent nature of the stories told, this podcast is rated M for mature, and we strongly encourage listener discretion.
Episode 4, Receiver.
Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Just a car and a mage who has me at their mercy. They stoop down to examine me, and I recognize the frayed hair from earlier tonight. Hookworm. She drops a bloody napkin on the ground, and I remember back in Charlie's car when I dabbed both our noses after my... Charlie called it a seizure. That ain't what I remember happening. Okay, I say, so you can track people by their blood. Nothing creepy about that. She holds out her hand, and I don't know what to do. I don't know who to trust. There's a line of thinking in the gaming community called griefing. Griefing is when you're so far behind, no chance of winning, you just stick to the winner, slow them down, and act completely random and hope it throws someone off. Because gamers know how other gamers move, how they strife, how they shoot, when they duck to reload. It's a rhythm. It's a dance. Sometimes you gotta throw a monkey wrench into a system just to see how it recovers. So, as I'm griefing in my place in the universe pretty hard right now, I reach up and take Lena's hand. Okay, so do we have a plan? Charlie said you wanted the best healers in the city. Can you heal Charlie? Of course. It's just their body that's damaged. I know where the ambulance is taking them, and I have Charlie's book right here. Does this mean you're gonna help us? Do you trust Gateway? A what? A who? Is that a person? Oh, you don't know about shadow names yet. Gateway is Charlie's awakened identity, just as mine is Hookworm. Do you trust them? I don't trust anyone, but I owe Charlie. And if you help us out, we'll both owe you. That's how this works, isn't it? Magic is all about trade-offs and striking deals. You caught on very quickly. It's about striking deals and latching your fingers into the loopholes of those contracts. I'm going to cast a spell that keeps your brain awake and alert. You're going to need it. Better than any cup of coffee. Fair enough. Hey, the thing in my head, Charlie called it an artifact. I don't know what it is, nor can I follow the signal being beamed into your brain. I can just see it. I will say this, though. The signature is tainted by a mage's fingerprints. It's coming from someone very strong, and I believe someone very familiar. Those bastards who almost jumped us at the diner called me the betrayer. The seers of the throne being betrayed by one of their own. Next, you're going to tell me that hornets have stingers. Let's get going then. I'm going to put my hand in your lap while we drive. It'll help me cast the spell. No, it won't. Maybe not, but you're going to let me do it, otherwise I won't drive. Why? You'd know if you ever tasted the erotic fear of another, thick as honey and sweeter than any rabbit scream, or... I get it! You're sick and you like when people get creeped out by you. You sure you're not looking for a mentor at this time?
November 12th, 11:30 p.m., 2018. The Jane Doe in room 303 has returned to her original coma-like condition. While she remains unconscious, she is showing increased brain activity. In fact, our monitors are having trouble keeping accurate track of her. I have had to increase her dosage of konokepin to unrealistic dosages. Further blood samples show no further delusion nor disorientation upon feeding for the sake of vitae. I should probably start over. Damn touchscreens. Dr. Nicholas Gerakis, Primogen of Clan Maquette and Senior Raven of the Circle of the Crone, Queensborough. About 2 weeks ago, October 28th, a woman of Asian descent, self-identified as Esther Park, checked herself into Mount Sinai, reporting severe blood loss from internal bleeding. Internal tears along the diaphragm, lungs, and scalp were confirmed, as well as minor blood clotting later discovered near the brainstem. The real question was, how does a civilian with no medical training self-diagnose so well? Nothing to do with Google or the new medical app sponsored by the Prince, I promise you, and anything downloaded from Datamass has been erased. Esther has something inside her. It's hard to explain, but it's intriguing. MRI scans went ballistic. Whatever it is too deep to surgically remove without risking the patient's life. After the daytime doctors questioned and placed her here in room 303, I cloaked the entire room upon my awakening for the evening. For the past 2 weeks, the oddest collection of people have congregated by the front desk at night, asking for a woman of Miss Park's general description. No family members, just work associates. In my aspects, their supernatural origins are clear. Will workers. Mages. Miss Park, in the meantime, floats between lucid and unconscious, and she has been unresponsive to my questioning. I cannot read her mind, her instincts, or feelings at all with my aspects. Any physical negotiations lead to violent fits of disassociation, even after removing 2 fingers from her right hand in the past 2 nights. She can only tell me that the doorway is closing. The doorway is closing. I will continue to observe Miss Park until we can understand if she is a threat to the kindred community, or an opportunity. Her rejected associates lead me to believe that she herself is a person of interest of the larger Mage society, though she herself displays no obvious magical abilities. On occasion, however, an orderly will lose focus and stand still. Then they will look directly at me, through my obfuscate, and repeat, "The doorway is closing." Troublesome. Perhaps the other Ravens were correct in calling this hospital a nexus of ley lines. I keep having brushes with the supernatural, or other will workers, but none ever stick around long enough for a proper examination. Regardless, Miss Park remains under my direct supervision and care as... One moment, please. EMTs with a new arrival. Gunshot wound across the abdomen. Woman of late 20s showing... Hold on. Brain death. That can't be right. What the hell is happening to my hospital?
We arrive at Mount Sinai Hospital and circle the block a few times. The entire car ride is awful. Have you ever used a moldy, wet towel? Wait, no. Has anyone ever tried to kiss you, then open their mouth all the way open, shoved their tongue in, and exhaled into your mouth? That's what riding shotgun with Lena is like. She's creepy, she's invasive, she knows it, and she loves it. I have to turn off the mind sight because of all the people. At least I have the choice now. I may have to tap into my mind one more time before we get to the hospital, but I don't want to give Hookworm any opportunities. She turns off her car and we step out, stand on the opposite corner facing the hospital. Hookworm grabs my shoulder and looks to the halal cart in the other block. Holy shit, it's the beefy lady who attacked us back at the mansion. She's in an overcoat watching the hospital as intently as we are. It doesn't look like she's seen us, yet. Did she follow us here, or did she have some kind of tracker on Charlie? Lena takes a deep breath and licks her lips. She walks over to the woman, who drops her kebab and jumps back. Lena's made the right choice. Area surrounded by regular people. Any fancy spellcasting and a universe will bitch slap us all back. The beefy chick points me out, and Lena steps between us, asking her to talk first, judge second. Both ladies are getting the weirdest side glances from passers-by, but they don't seem to care. The beefy lady resets her black ponytail and sighs through her teeth. She tells me that Charlie killed 2 of her closest friends. I tell her, self-defense. She says, no, just lucky. She circles us, the halal car operator calling to us to either get in line or fuck off. Finally, Lena motions toward the Socrates Park, 1 block over, and the 3 of us make our way over.
This podcast is brought to you by Zip Recruitment. Z for Zemadir, the name given to both the hidden space between North and Northwest and its future ruler. I is for Icarus, who failed Zemadir. And P for Polaris, whose message is still being received after first contact almost 1,000 years ago. How did we know that Polaris was even sending a signal? We found an astrophysicist with an interest in coding and the occult, of course. How did we find them, even after they tried to hide? Zip Recruitment, of course. Zip Recruitment is the most reliable way to find candidates for any task your founders set for them long ago. How did we even know we needed an astrophysicist to decode the message from Polaris? Zip Recruitment, of course. How did we know that Polaris was trying and continues to communicate with us today? Zip Recruitment. No hobby is too obscure to help your future employer. Sign up today. Zip Recruitment. Because you can't see it coming.
Presented by Takeaway, the app that gets rid of your trash. These days you can order anything to your home. A perfect marriage of conditioned capitalism combined with a tranquilizing sedentary effect? We don't know. All we know is that Takeaway is the app of choice for casual tossers and hoarders alike. Takeaway speeds up the process of garbage, compost, recycle, and skin tag removal. Takeaway won't ask you to catalog anything and doesn't charge you by visit or by weight removed. Half the time, Takeaway won't even charge you. Why would we? You're doing us a favor. Takeaway is not a cleaning service. It is simply a removal service. Do not abuse Takeaway by assuming your Takeaway buddy wants to clean the blood off the floor. It doesn't. It wants to take away the blood from the floor. If you stand in its way, it will take away more. Watch where you wave those hands. It will take away whatever or whomever you point to. And if you guess its real name, your Takeaway buddy will appear in 7 days with everything it ever removed. Unblemished, unchanged by time and rot. Don't take that tone with us. We don't have to take that attitude from you. We're doing you a favor. Takeaway. Everything will go.
There's a heroin addict tweaking on one of the benches. Lena slaps my ass before sitting down right next to me, practically on top of me. The beefy woman rests her hands on her lap, showing us that she isn't casting anything. We do the same, I guess. Still don't know how these people cast spells. The woman tells us that about a month ago, one of their own swiped an artifact from one of their vaults. No one knew exactly what the artifact was, but it has something to do with mind spells, a trapped entity from the realm of pandemonium. Okay, I say. So you're a badass task force, I get that. You followed the signal to the artifact in my scalp. She says yes, but that's not why they attacked Charlie and I. They're coming after me because whenever I cast a spell, I'm leaving the same fingerprint as their betrayer. But since we got away, she thought she could find the artifact from its source here at the hospital. Problem is, any mage they sent in so far has left with no memory of the visit. So there's something, or someone, protecting the betrayer. Whoa, hang on. I ain't never seen any of you people until like a few hours ago, when you first attacked us and shot Charlie. Lady says they were just as surprised to see me. Can you describe what the betrayer looks like? And she describes him all right. Thin, tall, Asian lady. Beauty mark just left of the left eye. And I call bullshit. I know who the goddamn betrayer is. My mom is the betrayer? Has she been missing? She's never been present, that's for sure. So she's one of the wise as well. Interesting. Awakening doesn't run in a bloodline without direct intervention and grooming. There isn't anything like a checks or balance system in place. One flash doesn't spark up in replace of one snuffed out. And from nature we should learn that all can start again as the music fade away to give a bright new day. Are you sure I have to bring you to Charlie's body? Can't you just send a get well soon card? If we go in the hospital, our minds may be erased. Mine won't. How do you know? I don't, but it won't. Our homicidal friend here objects. Look, I'm going in to help Charlie. If I can get you the artifact, will you leave us alone? The artifact inside your head? We can get that with a pair of tweezers and a spork right here, right now. But it's just a receiver. Y'all want the transmitter, right? Okay then, so we're going in. We'll use the side entrance, the one with the keypad. Just give me a second to take out my DS and get into the zone. Keep an eye on her. Your faith in me is misplaced. Wasn't talking to you, Lena.
On nights as strange as these, the hallway coffee machine becomes an altar. Front desk associates, doctors, and overnight family members of intensive care patients all gather around it to distract each other, offer condolences, gossip, trade jokes. I find it most convenient to stand near the coffee machine at times like these. The smell is nostalgic for me. When I was alive, I'd hold the side of it, staring at my own reflection in the plastic cover. As the years go by in my undeath, there are nights when my reflection looks away first, or I blink first. Over the years, the oil in my hands has eroded the paint and the plastic. I can still trace my fingerprints, proof of my lifetime, and beyond, of service. I notice their auras as soon as they enter. In the side door, the one locked from the inside, will workers. They make their way up the staircase toward the 3rd floor. Good. There are no cameras in the staircase. In 5 seconds, I am following them up the stairs, my obfuscate still active, so they will not notice me. The woman at the end is the tallest, built like a powerlifter. I touch her shoulder, and when she spins around, I've already locked eyes with her. In moments, she is compelled to leave and buy a sandwich from Vinny's Deli, the one in Staten Island. She leaves. Quietly, I walk beside the other two and meet them at the top of the staircase. They will walk into me, and I will dispatch them. I notice the resemblance right away. The tiny Asian woman may help solve the mystery of Esther Park, so I'll keep her alive. I'm about to move, when the woman with the graying wild hair walks to the door first, then turns and winks at me. I can detect life, including outliers like yourself. Fall down now. And I feel my heart clench, tighten in a Charlie horse of tight muscle. I feel the blood pressure snap my veins and arteries closed. So I grab her by the wrist and say, "Too bad I haven't relied on my heart for 10 years. It's a good comeback line. I shall use it on the sheriff next time I see his smug ass." She smiles again, however, and my hand turns black and begins leaking pus as the bones go limp. Who are you people? What do you even want?
Where he come from? He's a vampire. Try to keep up, bitch. He works here? I wasn't talking to you. We want to access this girl's mother. Can you take us to her?
I'm not about to do that.
You smell of old blood and ink. Are you a surgeon?
Who are you people?
We're wizards, bitch! What? There's no need to be rude, Titless Mouse. We just need to find 2 of his patients and do his job better than he can. You, doctor, is a woman named...
Esther Park, yes. What do you know about her?
We know enough about her to get out of your hospital, which will stop other people like us from investigating. Don't tell me you're not tempted.
Show me.
The doctor takes us inside the intensive care unit, and we find Charlie first. It's hard seeing Charlie like this. No bling, no smile, pale and sterile like this. I can see their Adam's apple clearly, and I just see a tired man. There are pale lines from their wrists all the way up to their arms. I had no idea Charlie was a cutter. They're lucky to be alive. Lena lays her hands on him, and the bullet wound closes like magic. The pale doctor looks fascinated.
If you have such power, why not use it on everyone?
Because why should I? I'm gonna need your help with this next part. Doctor, there's a metal device in my scalp right by the scar. You gotta take me to my... Mom. She's got a matching device under her scalp too, most likely. I need you to cut them both out of us.
And if I do that, you people will leave and take your weirdness with you?
Well, you could keep Lena if you like, but yeah, we'll all be out of your hair. I tucked Charlie's book under their arm. I don't know what to do next, but tit for tat, so we're even now, Charlie. I have no idea what my life would be like without you. Good luck. Charlie's life signs start stabilizing, and the doctor admits he's impressed. Like he should be, damn it. The doctor takes us back upstairs to room 303. I hate hospitals so much. When you're rich, they're places you go to get better. When you're poor, they're places you go to die. My mom is lying, hooked up to IVs, machines, monitoring everything. And all I'm thinking is, how did you expect to pay for any of this? Well, you were just gonna dump the fucking debt on me like you always do. I gotta bail her out again, like I always do. I see that her hand is bandaged, like she's missing 2 fingers. There are things in the hospital room that make no sense. A deep plastic trash can filled with water, a car battery, dirty surgical tools with old blood caked over them. Were you torturing her?
In my line of work, it's considered tactical persuasion methods.
Whatever you call it, it's awful. Thank you.
Excuse me?
Thank you for making her last days miserable. She's been forcing things in my head for the last 2 weeks. Memories that ain't mine, powers that ain't mine, pain that ain't mine. All she's ever done is take. But this is the first time she's given me anything.
Have a seat then. I'll prepare clean tools and extract the device immediately.
Nah.
I don't understand.
I do. Oh, yes. Rigor mortis.
Don't you
The dead doctor stiffens and collapses on the floor. I look at the woman who gave me my life, my personality, my debt, and now my powers. I take the pillow from under her and place it over her face.
Chroniclers of Darkness is written and produced by Uncle Yo, with performances by Susan Lee and Alyssa Stoller. Original music by Jimmy Lin. Logo by Jesse Pascal. Original artwork by Miranda Leahy. Special thanks to White Wolf and Onyx Path Publishing for uncovering a whole new world of darkness full of mysteries. Game on. Include everyone, and remember that death is yours for the unmaking.